network will appreciate it if you turn your camera on and use a virtual background that will be sent by our committee through the Zoom chat. The attendance form for the online participants will be shared no longer from now and at the closing session. So please stay tuned and please fill the form later. Thank you. Hello, participants of ICIAP 2024. Good afternoon. Okay, once again, we are elated to welcome online and offline participants to join the 7th Biennale ICIAP 2024 pre-event writing clinic, strategies in conceptualizing high-impact scientific papers. We hope that everyone is doing well. My name is Cinta Briliana, and I will accompany you as our host for today. Ladies and gentlemen, this pre-event is held as one of the series events of the 7th International Conference on Indonesia Architecture and Planning. The 7th International Conference on Indonesia Architecture and Planning is a series of conferences that allow participants to discuss challenges and opportunities for sustainability, which often triggers Indonesia in the first place and its effect on architecture, planning, and the governance. This year, ICIAP is conducted under the theme of Future Living, Reimagining Holistic Sustainable Built Environment, which brought up 4 topics. The first one is Reimagining Holistic Sustainable Urban and Regional Development. The second one is Reimagining Holistic Sustainable Architectural Design. The third one is Innovations for Future Living. And the fourth one is Challenges for Future Living. As the time is ticking, we would like to announce that today is the last day of the abstract submission for the 7th International Conference on Indonesia Architecture and Planning. Soon after this, our committee will share the registration link of our conference and also through these slides. Don't miss out the chats, as there will be lots of fruitful discussions and exciting opportunities waiting for you. But before we start our exciting sessions, a quick announcement for the online participants. Please fill out the attendance form of our pre-event. This attendance form is important, hence it will be your requirement to get the certificates. You may access the link through our slides or by the Zoom chat from our committee. Thank you. Now back to our sessions again. We will open our today's event by listening to a welcoming speech from our organizing committee. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Dr. Yani Rahmawati, the Chair of Organizing Committee of the 7th ICIAP 2024.
Okay, good day, ladies and gentlemen. It is an honor for me to be standing here opening this special event, welcoming our honorable guests and also all of the participants of this writing clinic. This writing clinic is part of the pre-event for the International Conference of ICIAP 2024, which the conference will be conducted on 28 and 29 August 2024 2024. Hopefully everyone will get the benefits from this pre-event, especially in preparing the paper to be submitted and published in our Scopus Index proceedings. On behalf of the Department of Architecture and Planning, UGM, and also the organizing committee of ICIAP 2024, we would like to kindly thank to our dear guest, Professor Zhai, and also from the University of Colorado Boulder, United States of America, and also Dr. Sani Roychansyah, as well as Dr. Nedyomukti Imam Syafii, to share their expertise and experiences with us in this special session. We also address heartiest thanks to the organizing committee of ICIAP 2024, especially Dr. Atrida, who served as moderator in this special session and realizing this event. Before I end up my speech, I would like to invite all of the participants to visit our ICIAP website for the details of our conference and publish your research in our conference. Many thanks, everyone. Enjoy the session. Good day. Back to you.
Thank you, Dr. Yani, for the warm speech. Now we've done our opening session formally. Ladies and gentlemen, let's begin today's rundown with insightful materializations from our inspiring speakers. This session will be moderated by Ms. Atrida Hadianti, SMSJ PhD. She was graduated from Kyoto University, and Ms. Atrida had published her researches about disaster preparedness, mitigation and management, livelihood resilience, etc., which was shown by her current publication, The Simulation of Urban Development with the Consideration of Ground Deformation Threats in Sidoarjo Regency, East Java Province of Indonesia. To Ms. Atrida, you may go to the stage.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Atrida Hadianti, and I will be the moderator for this very exciting discussion session. And for me, writing is like telling a story, like translating the ideas that is floating inside my head into a written artifact that can be heard and also be learned by other people. However, unlike telling a story, in scientific writing paper, we cannot do it as in a free story, as you wish order. We need to carry out in a respectful and careful manner in order to tell the truth reliably. And this might frighten for some people, young scholar especially. They might lose confidence before it started and doubting their work, like, does my story worth to tell? Or is it something new in our field or somebody else already talk about it? So this very afternoon, join with us in this writing clinic by ICIAP 2024, 3 excellent speakers who will share with you their knowledge and experience in strategies in conceptualizing high impact scientific papers. And before we begin, I would like to introduce you the first speaker, Professor Dr. Zhai from University of Colorado Boulder, that will discuss with us about hotspot and trend in building and environment research. Please welcome Professor Zhai. Professor Zhai is a professor at the Department of Civil, Environmental, and Architectural Engineering at University of Colorado at Boulder. And he also an active member of ASHRAE, ASME, International Building Performance Simulation Association, and also International Society of Indoor Air Quality and Climate. And he also the awardee of the Distinguished Service Award and Distinguished Lecture title from ASHRA. Please, Professor Zhai, to begin your presentation.
Thank you. Thank you, the chair. It's my great pleasure and honor to be here. This is actually the first time I visit UDM. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. Oh, good. All right, thank you. This is actually the first time I be UGM and also the first speech I delivered here. I just arrived the last Saturday and start my journey here. I'll be in Indonesia for 3 months. So hopefully we'll see you guys around. Okay, great, thank you. Right. Oh, okay, good. And we have one over here. Okay, great, thanks. All right, so I was told to provide a speech on the conceptualize your research to motivate your research. So really, I wanted to, based on some my experience, some journal I served, to summarize what are the hot spots and trends in the building and energy and environment study. So just want to give you a hint on what are going on right now actively in the society. So I just give you a general view on how many journals available right now. Okay, so this is, if you look at the total journal number right now, you have about 20,000 journals around the world, right? So a lot of time we feel well got lost. And if you look at this, the separation here, so we see the science journal itself in 9,500, and those are social science, another 3,500. You have this arts humanity, 1,800. All right. Now, as you guys know, those open access journals coming up every day. Okay. So we have another 5,000 journals. And all these journals are from different countries, right? You talk about 113 countries develop those journals. So really, how do we get the sense? I always want to, from the very top end, look at this is the website. You guys can go online, take a look, and you can search on what type of journals. And these are talk about the highly cited papers. And you can see the distributions, right? Here are just those dark color means highly cited. That's the United States, and this China, etc., Europe over here. And you can buy different filter. If you're interested in urban planning, you can look at urban planning instead of engineering. You will see the impacts, how many people cited, highly cited work. And I list here a few. This is called journal impact factor list. I didn't use the most recent one because the recent one is still changing. I used 2021 established. In general, you guys probably already heard those major ones relate to medical medicine. Those always highly cited, but that's a different area, right? And also we talk about nature, science. Those are all, this is, again, the medicine, and those are nature, energy, nature. All this is related to science research that have a big impact. But in general, when we compare the impact, we look at our own field. We don't compare with medicine. We don't compare with the nature science, right? So don't worry about those index. You see the index, crazy index, right, over here, right? But when we look at the building area, so this is all related to the building, not architecture perspective, but build environment, okay? So those are the top journals you can look at over here, the impact factor, the building environment, energy building, right? Building research information, building engineering, building simulation, building performance simulation, buildings, etc. There are a bunch of top lists. Now, quite a few universities, they use this list to judge the scholar's work. So if you publish paper on those journals, they will give you credit. But if you publish on the low impact factor journals, they won't count it, right? So that's why you need to focus on those high impact journals when you consider submission. And first I want to look at the one, I'm still the associate editor for this journal. I'm being there for more than 5 years. This is energy building, the top 1 or 2 journal in the field related to building and energy inspected. So if you look at the general acceptance rate, it's 21%. So it's not too bad, okay? When you submit 5 papers, you expect 1 paper will be accepted, which means you need to submit more papers, right? And also now everybody talk about fast processing. So you don't wait. In the past, you have to wait 1.5 years to get the paper accepted. Now every publisher is pushing for less than 2 months. So you got feedback in less than 7-8 weeks. First round, you got feedback whether accepted or you need a revision, all the stuff, right? So those are happening everywhere. You have a fast response for your submission, which is good for students because you need a response right away. You cannot wait for half a year. And this is just to give you an idea, those who are the major submitter for this journal itself and how many papers they receive every year. So look at over here, the Asian actually, the major one they submitted. It doesn't change much over the years. Asia, including China, India, all everywhere, right? Those are major ones. China, Iran, India, those are major submitters for the journals. And the second largest is Europe, and actually America, North America is not many people submitted. But another one makes another big impact is accepted one. This is accepted compared to the submitted, right? This is the most important. So if you look accepted one, actually Europe have more acceptance, which means they do a quality work, right? So they submit, but they have a higher acceptance rate than the Asian study, right? And also this is the trend who are the top 10 countries. Again, China is a big producer for papers, United States, United Kingdom, etc. And this is the use. How many people use it? Who are you users of papers? Again, you will see the China use a lot, and United Kingdom, United States, they refer to the journals. Okay, so people not typically just search their own database. One example is Japan, actually. Japanese scholar tended to publish in Japanese, and they also refer to their own paper, the Japanese paper. But the government want to change right now they want to move to more international. Otherwise, you become just isolated. You just understand what's going on in Japan. You don't understand what's going on in the world, right? And now also use that tool. I listed the website. You can see the hot topic. Those are just very quick search for this journal itself. The size of a box indicated which is hotter of the topic. The bigger is hotter, okay? The smaller is less hotter. So this one, look at over here, a big one over here is summer comfort. When you do the building design, architecture design, urban planning, we do care about the comfort, inside, outside, the human comfort. And we talk about efficiency. And then we talk about energy consumption. Now getting more and more hot with the machine learning, how the AI can be used for building design. And then we talk about climate change, right? Those are all the residential buildings, build energy saving, etc. Those are the keywords you can keep in mind. And I listed quickly a few. I searched the most cited papers since 2018 for this journal itself. The list online, you can check it out. So I didn't look at all the papers. I just grouped them. So all the green ones all relate to the materials. Those are, you see the polished materials, all the phase changing materials. All the yellow ones all relate to the materials. All these green ones, they talk about energy efficiency, all the energy efficiency. And this one is talk about human behaviors, comfort, the purple one. So just give you a general idea. You don't have to look at it. Again, you look at the whole. Here, talk about a lot of the comfort, the human activities, right? Then you talk about PCM, the materials, phase changing materials, and energy efficiencies, okay? Again, there are a lot, you can really group them into these 2-3 top areas, okay? And this is the second journal I want to talk about called Building and Environment. And this one's a little bit different, folks, from the energy perspective, and more from the environment perspective. And so again, this is about top 2 journal in the field. And you look at the weeks. This is my supervisor actually at MIT. He's the editor for this. He's really pushing fast processing. He rejected 99% of papers first day he submitted. Okay, if he doesn't like it, he reject right away. Okay, no argument. Even if the paper from me, it doesn't matter, right? If he doesn't like it, he reject my paper. Okay. And again, if you look at the most cited, this is the most cited paper since 2018. I still can group them into 3 topics. This one over here, You look at the thermal comfort, right? All the thermal comfort, the human behaviors, thermal comfort. And this green one is talk about energy efficiency. This one, phase changing materials, right? Again, this is comfort. Same thing here. Let's talk about comfort, energy efficiency, materials, life cycle analysis, right? So before you read any papers, you need to get the sense what are hot right now. Okay, so now at least from this few minutes, you got ideas. Everybody talk about thermal comfort, human behaviors, how this can affect the design, because that's what we call human-oriented design. We design building, we design urban is for human. So we want to make sure people happy. That's why this is the focus. And then we talk about what materials you guys choose to build an environment, right? Or what the materials you can use for structure, for example, for heating, cooling. So the material is important. And the certain one is all the efficiencies, the energy efficiency, right? That's all we care about. So after that, I just want to use those 3 examples of my research example to highlight what we call in these areas, right? So the first example is related to the thermal comfort, the indoor and outdoor. Indoor is typical for building designer. Outdoor is for urban planner. So we talk about indoor, outdoor thermal comfort, house. In this case, I really talk about special environment. The special environment, including hospital, right? The clinic, hospital, including schools, senior center, right? All this pharmaceutical manufacturing process. Those are critical ones. Data center. And those are the keywords I summarized. I think is important. Dynamic. We're not talking about static anymore. Things are changing. That's dynamic. We talk about non-uniform. We're not just talking about the temperature, one temperature for the space. The temperature in the space could be different. For the campus can be different, non-uniform. We talk about coupled. It's not just one single one. It's everything's linked. We talk about human behaviors. Everyone's different. When your behavior at school and your behavior at home will be different, right? We talk about new equipment and talk about emergency. If something happens in the disaster, earthquake, whatever, those are special cases. How do we handle that? So in this case, I will just introduce one experiment we did during COVID. And this is just the past few years we did a study. So we want to test if we use a localized, a portable air cleaner, how this is going to help reduce the spread of the virus from this people talking to the other people. This is the visualize. We did experiment. When you can see that base case, this one's off. I didn't turn on the air cleaner. And when this guy talking, all you can see all the droplet will spread out around the other people on the table. So basically affect everybody, right? But if I do this one over here, if I turn on this one, you will see the air, the droplet will be, right, absorbed by this, right? Most of them will for this air cleaner. If I put the sideway, it's even better. Okay. So we did all the analysis. We found that this is a source. This is the people front of, and this is next to it. You see, if this is the source, the people front of it will get a lot of impact, right? Even the cross one, number 4, this guy also will be affected. Number 3 seems like safe. You said you're happy, but unfortunately, when people talk, they're not just talking this direction. You talk like this, right? When you talk like this, you affect everybody. Right? That's a problem. But if we use all the purifier, so you see the reductions. You see the reductions. So those are from the experiment we did in the real restaurant. And then we did a simulation for this restaurant, a very busy restaurant in a 5-star hotel. We simulated, and we can find that airflow is very complicated inside. It's not as simple as we saw. And then you can look at the contaminant. Oops, contaminant. If there's a contaminant in the space, quickly you'll find this contaminant get distributed to all spaces. But if I have a ground, put the diffuser, the purifier on the ground, then you'll see only a small space will be affected. This one's interesting. I also put the purifier on the table. I don't know whether you guys had some fancy restaurant. You have a very nice lighting on your table, right? Romantic style on the table. We said replace that with this purifier, right? Why you need a light? You don't need light. You need a purifier. So let's replace that with this one. And you see this does help. reduce that. And we did a further simulation on that. If you have, this one is if I have a purifier on the ground, you will see how the particles going to be absorbed, right? They're going to go through the diffusers. They will be removed, right? So this the first one's base case. This one's off. So you see the virus goes everywhere. That's a problem. Okay, so this was with the table one. We put a table. So we see if somebody's speaking, right? Speaking with all the droplets coming out from the mouse. So now you will see this one can suck into this diffuser, right? This purifiers on the table. It does help. And then we did it much bigger. This the 1,300 people, a banquet, like a wedding or whatever, right? Gathering. Then what happened? So we did this ballroom in this real the hotel, 5-star hotel ballroom. We did a study on that. So we do have 3 people got sick. They're on different diffused. I see how this is going to affect all people attending the wedding. So now this if you can click on that, this one over here, you see this one without any purifier. If somebody's talking on the your table, this basically affects people on the same table and the table behind it. So it's not just the same table, but also the table behind it. What if we have a table unit put on the table? You will see in this case, it doesn't spread out. It's very interesting. And we did an analysis on how many particles be treated, how many particles be exhausted. The main reason is not because the purifier clean the particle. The purifier is sucking the air from the side and exhaust from the top. Because there's a jet to the top, it actually push all the dirty air to the ceiling. After we published these results, we got a lot of calls from industry, from restaurants. They find exactly problem, the solutions. It's not because the purifier clean the air, it's because the jet, they redirect the air to the ceiling. So after certain months, if you look at the ceiling, that's the dirtiest place, right? Because all the virus rise go to the ceiling, but we don't care, right? After they be there for 48 hours, all virus gonna die anyway, right? So this is actually another finding is purifier not just about to clean the air, but also redistribute the air to somewhere, okay? So this just give you and then we did the test on the real ballroom. You can see this is without the table unit, it's spread out. This is with the table unit. Only people next to it will get infected. Other people will be safe. Okay. So this just give you ideas. This one is because just the pandemic, we got a chance to work on it. It's urgency, and we can find a solution for it. And the second one, we talk about materials. Remember besides the comfort, health, we talk about materials. We're also interested in the materials. This is called improvement and application building materials property systems. There are some keywords I listed over here: renewable materials, new materials, phase change, heat, humidity, carbon emission, life cycle. So those are the hot keywords right now, everybody talk about. So in this case, I want to introduce a crazy idea we had about 10 years ago. We said a living wall. So what exactly does that mean? So when we build the buildings, we have a concrete, we'll have a steel, everything is solid, right? We don't want the air kind of moves through the wall. But we think about our human body. The skin is also the wall to our body, right? It protects our organs. And you guys know the temperature inside, right? The temperature inside is 37 degrees Celsius. Day and night, winter and summer, it doesn't change, right? Even outside temperature change, but organ temperature is always 37. Can we do the same? I wanted the inside temperature 25. Regardless, whatever outside temperature, hot, cold, I want it inside 25. I don't have any AC. Can we do it? So we wanted to build a wall just like human skin. Can we do it? Right. So I got the largest grant from US history for single person project. I got $2.5 million to work on this crazy idea. When I got the money, the program director, National Science Foundation, US, he talked to me, John, I want you try this crazy idea. I know you probably won't make that happen, but we still want to see what will be the outcome for it. So we did a bunch of study with the material science people, aerospace people, and architects even. We worked together on this project. So we developed the prototype of this, and this the final product look like this. Go back to here. What is the final outcome? Did we actually achieve that after we talk about others? So one of my PhD students did modeling of the physics behind the skin. The skin has all this moisture, right? Evaporation, moisture, have an air at the surface, have a heat transfer, and also we have a fat underneath the skin. The fat is for thermal storage, the fat, right? So can we model all the mechanisms for the skin? That's all our relate to our building technologists. So that's how we develop a tool, start from a very simple beginning. If I have a concrete, I have a phase changing materials, can we model, they have a different temperature change, the phase materials change at the different temperatures, delta T. So we developed these tools, and now we can model every different configurations of walls. So the first one is a simple one, just a dry wall, insulation dry wall. That's it. That's a traditional one. But what if I put another cavity inside? What's the wall performance? What if I put phase changing materials inside? What if I put two phase changing materials inside? So you can test whatever you can think about it. Or you think about, can I put a glass, the inside, outside? How this going to affect my structure performance? So we develop a tool people can simulate. This is the tool we developed, a very simple tool. You just pull whatever you need it. Whether I want to study Indonesia versus Thailand or Denver, Colorado, you just pull the data over there. What type of glass you want to test, what type of insulation you can test. Just do all this, then you can get the performance like this. So you can get the temperature inside, outside. In this case, you can answer, this is the classical question. When you have a phase changing materials, where should you put it? Should you put it inside, outside, middle, right? A lot of people don't know how to answer. It does vary with locations. So the answer for Indonesia may be different for China. So in this case, you can test it and you get an answer. And this is if I have a air cavity, I have a glazing. The air cavity is more like a chimney. So you have a hot air rise, and the people can even collect the hot air for heating purpose. So, but we need to calculate how much heat we can get, right, out of these cavities. So when we present all the results to architects, they like it. So the architects really come up with some kind of crazy designs. They said, what if I have a whole wall made of this living wall? So they even have a central atrium to make the air movement, right? And he said, this is during different time period. They can see the temperature change of facade and eventually how to dry the air through the buildings. This is from our architecture partners, okay? So this is the one project that we got a crazy idea. So now let's back to the final product. When we got to the final product, we did achieve the product as we expected. But unfortunately, the size is just like your fingernail. So fundamentally, yes, we can do it. But the question is, how do we expand this fingernail into a brick size and then further to a wall size? That is more engineering problem, which we don't have it, okay? This involves a lot of engineering process, the cost, certainly, right? So the science research only provide the feasibility. Yes, from the fundamental, theoretically, yes, we can do it. We can achieve a living wall, right? But unfortunately, we cannot really commercialize the technology right now. This needs further study. Okay, so now I want to speed up a little bit to our last one, is talk about the simulation, optimization, control of the integrated energy system in buildings. So in this case, we'll talk about a few keywords. The one is region. So we're not talking about single building anymore. We'll talk about group of building. We'll call building stock, okay? Building stock, or a community. This is very important because one buildings, right now in the United States, very few people just study one building. We always wanted to look at a different combination of buildings. For example, if you have 10 schools plus 100 commercial buildings, plus 1,000 residential buildings, right? You think about when you add all this together, what will be the energy demand? That will be different from one building. That's much more complicated. So now we need to look at algorithm to optimize it. We talk about intelligent. We talk about network and green buildings, renewable data, building information models. Those are all the keywords for this sector. So here I just want to use one project we worked with architects again, trying to look at a BIPV. Some of you may heard about it. BIPV stands for Building Integrated PV. So traditionally, I talked to a few folks last couple of days, talk about can Indonesia use PV, right? I don't see many PV, but what can we do it? And what is the demand? What's the problem, right? Actually, I talked to a few scholars, what's the problem? And recently we work with US Department of State. We got a small funding to use PV for Makassar City, some small test pilot project right now. So traditional PV design, you guys know that, they put on the roof, and that's it. You put the stack, okay, and you put on the roof. But think about how many roofs we have. Can the roof supply enough power for the buildings? The answer is no. Especially if you have a dense city, you have high-rise buildings, you don't have a chance to supply enough power for on the roof only. So the architects talk about, can we put PV on building facade? Right? So now you think about all different kinds, integrations, different colors, like this one. So you see that they change the slope, right? From every single angles, right? The curved one, the full shading device. People trying to integrate that. But we need to answer a question, can we develop a tool, help architects to design, to optimize this building integrator? Okay, so now that's the process we developed. We start from a box, a simple box. I told my students, don't think about any constraints. There's no constraints about structure. Don't worry about structure, right? Don't worry about if that good looking or not. I don't care, right? I want to maximize my PV generation. That's it. That's the only goal, okay? Later on, we'll talk to architects, structural engineers, right? How do we improve that? But I wanted to see the maximum PV output. Would that be enough to supply the building need? That's my question. So you will see that step by step, you will see that slope. The reason is the solar wanted to perpendicular to the surface to get the best generation, right? So that's why you need to tilt a little bit, not the vertical one. That's exactly happening over here. Then I took all others geometries, right? And I cut slopes. And I put, even in this case, so it's already very weird shape, right? I don't know architects like it or not, but look at the original one and the final one, very odd one, right? And then we develop approach. We can do from the box, we change the shape, we even do the shading, the windows, the shadings. This everything's automatic. We don't have to do automatic, computer will generate it. Okay. So this is the software we developed. They can generate, change the geometries, get to the best ones. So here I want to just highlight, yes, we can develop a tool to do the work, and we can work with architects to make that happen, and it will look beautiful. But fundamentally, if I use BIPV on my facade, can I supply enough power to building? Nobody, not a single people answer this question so far except our team. My answer is no, we cannot. So we tried everything we could. You see the weird shape, right? We find the maximum we could generate is this. This is about 19 kilowatt hour per square meter per year. 19 kilowatt hour per square meter per year. Floor area, okay, floor area. What does that mean? 19 kilowatt hour per square meter. Do you guys know what is the typical building energy cost, the energy use? I don't know about the Indonesia data. US commercial building, 200. This guy can only provide 19, all right? Only 10%. Okay, you said, forget about the commercial building. Forget about United States. You guys are rich, right? Let's talk about China. China, 100. Commercial building, 100 kilowatt hour per square meter per year. Now you talk about 20 over 100, 20%, still not enough. We look at the best one, German passive house. Some of you probably heard about it, right? German passive house. That's the most energy efficient building. They talk about 42 kilowatt hour per square meter per year. Still, We cannot beat it. We still only can provide 50% of the energy for even the highest, right? The energy efficient building. So which means we need to be smart. You just put PV on the building envelope, cannot change. We cannot supply enough power for buildings. That's our discouraging conclusions for the society, but that's what we find. Okay, so this is basically summarized. I use 3 examples, give you ideas. So a lot of study we did, sometimes not encouraging. Actually, my student got frustrated because the professor, we got a so discouraging answer. The PV doesn't help. What else we can do? Actually, this is going to help us to think about other ways. For example, the PV itself, photovoltaics energy efficiency, the power generator efficiency. If you guys know that, in the past, only 5%. The solar, 5% of solar became electricity. Okay, now the best one on the market, you can got 25%. All right, 100 solar, 25 become electricity. That's it. What about the 75%? The waste heat, right? Those are waste heat. That's already the best ones. Typical one, if you go market by 15% from, the typical market, 15% is very regular right now. 85% waste. But can we use the waste heat? So that's what we call it. Can we, you guys know that the PV is like this. There's the bottom, right? Bottom is hot. Hot is bad for power generation. Okay, we wanted the PV panel is cool, can generate electricity. If it's become hot, every 1 degree Celsius increase, you will decrease the power generation 0.4% efficiency. So you want a cool surface. What if we put the water behind it? Think about if I have a water behind it. What do you got? You got a free hot water, right? And you can use that for shower or whatever. Enough. And by doing that, you already save 30% in addition to this 25%. You guys got it? So now you got a 55%. Okay. When you have a water pipe underneath it, you still cavity for air. Can we collect those free hot air? For Indonesia, you guys don't need it, right? You don't need heating. But for some locations, they do need a heating. That's your heat. Okay? And that one will save another 15%. 55 plus 15, you got 70%. 100% come in, 70% used. So that's what we call combo, triple systems. So that's just one example, right? We cannot improve the BIPV. We cannot improve the PV itself. But can we do something like this combo systems, make that happen? Okay, I just want to use this to conclude my speech. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Prof. Zhai. Please, you can have a seat in the front. Isn't it interesting to see what is the current trend and hotspot in the field of our studies in building and environment? Okay, but sometimes the students also find difficulties, right? How to find that? And from Professor Zhai presentation, we can have inspiration from this discussion. But now, Dr. Nedyomukti will discuss also how to find the hotspot and trends in the research. Please welcome Dr. Nedyomukti. Okay, our second speakers, our lecturers in here, Dr. Nedyomukti Imam Syafii. He's the assistant professor at the Department of Architecture and Planning, Universitas Gadjah Mada, and he's also a research collaborator at Digital Object Oriented Research and Experiment Laboratory, and his recent publication, Mitigation Methods of Climate Change Impact on the Cooling Load of Public Residential Building in Singapore. Please welcome Dr. Nedyomukti, and he will present how to find hotspot in our research.
Okay. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. First of all, thank you, Dr. Atrida. I was quite surprised to see I'm coming first, but it's okay. Anyway, so I need to kind of apologize first because my presentation is actually not really as academically like Prof. John K did. So, and even the title is inspired by your presentation. So, like, so the title is actually finding hotspot. Not really like this. Not really how to put it. It's not really showing you what kind of topic, but on how we can manage, we can search what is good to present for publication, let's say. So it's more like a flowing heart, curhat, curahan hati. I don't know if it's the correct answer. It's more like a sharing session. So it's very informal, Prof. So don't expect too much with my presentation. Okay, so finding a hotspot. So we already see what Prof. John K say about what kind of good topics, right? And maybe for among us is maybe a very good way to find to elaborate what we already have. So I will start my presentation with our confusion. Can we go next, please? So I come up with it's some time ago. I listened to one of YouTube YouTubers say about red car theory. Really, that's colleague car. Maybe one of them is our colleague's car. Yeah. Have you guys heard about it? Red car theory? So is it the first time? Okay. Let's say if I ask you today, when you come to school, how many red car did you guys see? We already know that red car is very common. We know that red car is like the most what do you call it? The paling laku is the most sellable cars. But can you remember on the way you come to the school, how many cars did you see? Maybe one, maybe two. How if let's say I can give you $10 for every red car that you see, and we come again tomorrow. Then you will get the exact number of red car that you see. Am I right? Hopefully. So you'll get like, oh, I can say I see 10 cars, then you're gonna get $100. You will get the precise number of red cars. This way I call it spotting opportunities. I think in our research, in every research that we had, in every step that we already done, we collect a lot of things. We manage to gather a lot of information, but there is no time for us to settle down and see what is good opportunity to make it better. Or in our case, in our student case, is like more uh, to make it a good writing papers or publication, let's say. So if you know the value of your own research, I argue that you will get a good publication. You will get a lot of opportunities. You just need to know how to find it. So it's along that line. What I mean is, I do believe that each of topics that you guys had is a good topics, but sometimes we feel that it's not really worth it, and then we keep on changing what is new, what is I need to search here again, and to do this again. But if you want to settle down, relax yourself, look back on your research, hopefully there is something there. There is a red car in your uh things that you have. Okay, next. So yeah, we already been that done that. Like hopefully the much we stare to the computer, the brilliant an idea that will come. This is like how we see ourselves nowadays, right? And then next, please. And then you try to make a relationship with your computer sometimes. Hopefully some idea will come. Some maybe come, some maybe not. And then you gonna start to touching your computer. Please give me something. Yeah, we've done that. But there is no such kind of shortcut. So yeah, we need to do the very hard way. So next, please. And I come across to this picture. You already have a lot. Have you guys heard about finding Waldo? This is kind of different of the red car theory, but this is sort of, you can relate to our research. How many papers have you read? Thousands? 10 of thousands? Hundreds? Maybe more? Start getting confused. Am I doing the right way? Where is my objective? Where is my goals? Can you find Waldo here? Maybe not. Maybe he's there, maybe he's not. So I will share with you some of, I have 5 tips. This is more like a tips. That's why in the first slide I say that it's not really very academic. So I come with my first, so I try to define what is hotline. So it's more like something that is very interesting, and I put it somehow is relevant to us. Maybe it's not very useful in practically it's very useful per se, but it should be relevant to us. And usually these hot things is area often indicate emerging trends, like what Prof. John K have present to us. So those things is very in deep, looking on themes, on what is like the trends, the pressing issue, or maybe some opportunities. Right? Next, please. Then how to identify them? So I have like 5 tips here. The first one, what can help? Go back to your literature. You don't need to find new one. Just go back for whatever you already have. Again, hopefully you find something there. I do believe that you already have extensive read, but maybe you miss the red car. I have hints here, if you're looking for your gap, maybe some keyword may be relevant to you. Let's say, what is the, usually in the paper, good papers, good writing paper, publication, usually they have like, what is the possible future research? They'll usually put what is next. Our research gap is, what is our limitation of study? This is a starting point that you guys can actually look at. And then what is, and then you can match what relevant to you. Further investigation, if investigation is needed, somebody already help you to find your goals. Literature review. And the second one, maybe you want to start on your literature review, you will start to collect or analyze the citation network. What, let's say we can start from Prof. Chen K's papers. What is he doing? Who is he citation to? What is his students doing? All of those things. Hopefully, some you come across with good topics. Maybe you can find related study. Then you can start looking on other new papers. And then the third one, meeting new friends. So conference is good. Attending this kind of webinar somehow good, but please find something like Prof. John K's presentation, not mine. Maybe you will get a more good topic for you. You can start chat. Actually, we gonna have our own conference. Maybe you can attend there. Well, student is free, right? You can hear conference is a good place for people to showcase what are they doing recently. So maybe they're not very confident to write into a good publication. They usually put it in the conference first for test the water, how the reaction, how the people respond to their research, and you can start there on those discussion, on those informal discussion. You guys can find some thread card there. Okay, next, collaborating. A very good paper is not like what I can say is usually when you try to find your hot topic, maybe it's not come from your closest friend. Maybe it come from other knowledge. Maybe it come from whoever you meet in the conference. Maybe it's not really in, let's say, we are in the architecture department. Maybe you find some civil engineers or mechanical electrical engineers. What their problem, maybe you can solve, is related to your research. I have one experience about what tree can spring. We already know that tree can lower your air temperature, let's say. But tree is not necessarily only helping to alter the hot temperature, but they also can give you a good air quality. And then the question arises, what kind of trees? How many trees do you need? But before that, you only know that the tree maybe only help to lower the temperature. Some engineers come, you meet, how do you put it? Those who are concerned about the energy. A tree again, how the shade of tree can help. How the shade of tree, if it's hit the wall first, how if I put it on the rooftop, something like that, related to energy. If you don't meet these guys, maybe you're gonna miss that. Okay, maybe the last tip. Am I too fast? This is my last slide. Leveraging digital tools. This is quite interesting. Actually, when we just recently, like the AI, the artificial intelligence things, the Google search, even Google search, obviously can help us. Try communicate with ChatGPT. You will be surprised. Part of this presentation is made by ChatGPT. So I asked him, I asked her, make me presentation about hotspot. Give me a lot. And it's quite focused. Surprisingly, I was quite surprised when I asked the question that it can is too smart. Like he can focus on what we need. Even when I ask, can you give me more slide? Can we give more slide? He don't give. So I only have 5. But digital tools maybe is a very good, another good tools that you guys need to approach. Like, but here I was referring to, you can follow hashtags, you can follow, but now some research they have their own Facebook. Do you guys know? LinkedIn. Maybe you guys need to go. You need to register to those places. You can follow the hashtags. What is, let's say you are interested in what heritage or something like energy, thermal, wind flow, or other things. Maybe some of them have something that is related to your research. So these tools is very helpful. We and if you follow the the trend, the future trend of the AI, you will find a lot of developers trying to distinguish themselves the other developers. And what I mean is like there is some AI is focused on research. They only solely cater the program, the algorithm inside, only for finding you a good publication. Other can help you write. This is very dangerous, but I think you guys need to know. There's some AI that actually can help you write. There's some AI can actually help you find some references, but it's very dangerous. So very dangerous. I mean it. You guys need to be careful because even the smartest AI is not really accurate. So the people behind, I mean that you guys still have the responsibility to the output that they give to you. So hopefully, next slide, we're gonna find our hope with those 4 tips. I hope you guys a good publication. You know that guy? You watch the serials? This is our hope, right? Okay. And then next, please. And then you'll find your Waldo. And hopefully that Waldo will give you a very good publication. With this, I end my presentation. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Nedyomukti. This is very interesting, right? And maybe from today, you will try to count the red car along the way from your home or kos-kosan to here, just to practice how to find hotspot in our research. And last but not least, we have our third speakers, Bapak Sani Roychansyah. Please welcome. And Pak Sani will give us notes on scientific output from scratch. Pak Sani is Associate Professor at the Department of Architecture and Planning, our lecturer. And he's also external research collaborator at Politecnico di Torino. And he also the research fellow at Tohoku University. Pak Sani, without further ado, please begin your presentation.
Okay, thank you very much. Good afternoon, everyone. Our distinguished guest professor from Colorado University, Prof. Zhai, and Pak Nedyomukti, Pak Junaid, and also the committee of ICIAP. Thank you very much for this opportunity to share my actually experience-based notes, notes on scientific output from scratch. And this actually but please. Okay. And actually, the purpose of this note is to share, because I joined this department after I graduated from this architecture department. So more than 25 years ago, and I have become the lecturer here. And I would like to share our experience as a lecturer and researcher. And I think it's also a quite funny story, because after I graduated from PhD in Tohoku University, and after that I cannot leave the role as the chairman of the program. Yeah. Actually, in 2008, I returned back to Indonesia, and at that time, I also helped Professor Ahmad Junaidi to manage a PhD program here. And after that, master program. And after that, 5 years later, as a program director in bachelor program. I hope at that time, I will finish my career as a program director. But suddenly, yeah, communities also decide to make me once again as a master program director. So that's why maybe it's very important, but also difficult for me to share as a researcher, but I would like to be as a lecturer or program director. So I would like also to inform the increasing need for research in the field of the built environment and planning as well, and to provoke all of you to to participate. Actually, not participate in only in ICIAP, but also to have a desire for research. And four is to promote, of course, ICIAP has become a good media or a good venue to start it all as a beginner in research. Okay, why people doing research? Because so many individuals have different motivation, different backgrounds of the research. I think after you finish from these schools, or you in Zoom also finish your duty as a faculty or as students, for example, you want to change your career path or your orientation to do research. So from Jalango and Saracho, we also learn about the motivation or the background why people doing research. Because from formal how to okay from academic formal academic credentials, so graduated for architecture, for example, they will continue the research also in architecture, but it's not for Professor Zhai. Yeah, because Professor Zhai graduated from mechanical engineering and continue his another PhD in architecture. Maybe not so many people will do that. Yeah, and also practical and professional experience, because some students also sent by their office to study what the office do. Yeah, what the office terms or focus in research doing. So this is a practical professional experience, and also current role and personal professional interests. We also believe that all of you will have each different interest in research. Like Pa Jonet said that maybe similar red cars, but we will choose another part of this red cars. And the future aspiration and learning goals, because maybe some people also actually not related to the institution in research or in education, but they want to continue their passion, to explore research. It's also very possible. Yeah, the types of research output or scientific output, actually, I agree with Professor Zhai, because publication is journal or article in publication is very important. But now the tense, it's not only a publication. So people, young people also want to share, want to disseminate their outputs of the research by several channels like social media, like interview, yeah, like in YouTube, etc. So many media can be assets for the research output publication or sharing. And from these articles, we know that so many people now yeah, still focus on article, but they also identify that so many outputs of the research also shared by several media in our daily life. Yeah, this other research output like audio and video, live performances, and exhibition, social media, artwork and design, and collaboration. So why people from humaniora or social sciences will have expectation to share directly after they get the survey result, for example, rather than publish in maybe monthly or maybe half year of the publication. But they assume that this kind of research outputs media also very effective way, yeah, effective media to share or to disseminate their research also. Yeah, so the contents today, actually, I will resume what Pak Zhai said, and also what Pak Jonet share about the experience, because I also told to Pak Jonet that my presentation will more macro than Pak Zhai. It's very focused on research, and Pak Jonet is share the strategies and so on. But I would like to share and once again to make a highlight of this kind of research. So introduction, experiences-based observation, and also what kind of development strategies as a researcher, as a student, or as people who have passion in research. And actually individual matters. What the important points to be done as you as a researcher. And also I think ICIAP as a relevant media or forum to be deliver this kind of opportunity. So this from Department of Architecture or Design, Architecture, Urban and Regional Planning, because this department is belong to Faculty of Engineering, but the focus on this department is Design, Architecture, Urban and Regional Planning. So many quotation we have here. Research is to see what everybody else has seen and to think what nobody else has thought. Maybe it is similar with red cars theory by Pa Jonet. And also to invent, you need a good imagination and pile of junks. And also science is the great antidote to the passion of the enthusiasm and superstition by Adam Smith. And the only source of knowledge is experience. So of course, yeah, here in this room, Professor Zhai experience becomes important and result so many research, so many experience to share to you, rather than me or other people in this class. And also from Pablo Picasso, for example, I'm always doing that which I cannot do in order that I may learn how to do it. So because passion is very important, and in science, the credit goes to the man who convinced the work, not to the man to whom the ideas first occurs. Yeah. So even you have no idea in the first hand, yeah, you can share it broader, yeah, than the first pioneer, for example, like Sir William Osler said. Yeah, so many. Planning is bringing the future. Every great architect is necessarily a great poet. And so that's why by Frank Lloyd Wright, he must be a great original interpreter of his time, his day, his age. So that's why the trend of the topic of research is very important these days. And the challenge of the unknown future is so much more exciting than the stories of the accomplished past. And cities are the greatest creation of humanity, of course, and every community, etc. We have so many motivation, so many quotation here to bring you more convenience in this discussion. And after I get the opportunity as the program directors from more than 15 years, I think. And I also belong to this university, UGM University, the best and the greatest university. People say that achievement, but so many problems still exist in this university, in this daily atmosphere of as academics. Insufficient training and skill development, and also limited research infrastructure, inadequate funding opportunities, yeah, time constraint. Because as a lecturer, yeah, I just have small time to do research, for example, yeah, because this also because the nation said that you have to be fulfill your minimum requirement as the lecturer, for example, and publication pressure, yeah, because if we want to increase our tenure track, yeah, for example, we have to publish some reputational publication. And lack of collaboration and interdisciplinary approach. Yeah, so that's why Professor Zhai coming is very, very beneficial for us. And inadequate peer review and feedback, limited research ethic understanding, because start to 5 years ago, we also have felt that research ethic is very important to be done in architecture and urban planning research. Firstly, before you do the research itself. And also under emphasis on research design, inadequate statistical competence, and fragmented research culture and management. This actually myself or my observation for this kind of time. Yeah, so I will promote ICIAP. Yeah, so ICIAP will have some big opportunities to us. Yeah, as a knowledge exchange and skill development. Pak Junet also said that in his presentation, networking opportunities, access to funding and resources, and Bu Yani also prepare very good opportunities to have some publication reputation and publication opportunities, international collaboration, research ethics and best practices, cohesive research culture, visibility and recognition, and continuous learning and adaptability. This ICIAP actually the annual conference, international conference, started from 2012 at that time, and I think this is a very long time experience as the reputable conference, I think. And what kind of strategies? Yeah, because we know that some strategies should be done if we want to make some research, of course. Actually, I list from the journal, from the references I have read, and identify general areas of interest is very important. and then review key concept in issues. Because so many people, so many issues we have, as Pak Jonet said, that we should focus on some red dot or red interesting car. Yeah. So review key concept and issues and stay updated on current trends. Pak Zhai also said some trends in building and environment research, but not only that topics, because I think some students here or some students in Zoom meeting also have different kind of topics. And identify gaps in knowledge, because we have known that this is also important to bring this step into our research. And engage with stakeholders. Yeah. So that's why we also focus or stick on this engagement with stakeholders, because reach out the professional. Your research should be beneficial for the community, for your surrounding, for your environment. So that's why maybe we don't know better than the stakeholders that do practical daily activity in that area. Attend seminar and conference as ICIAP, and also network with professor and researcher during the seminar, during the conference, and maybe during this pre-event conference, you can get contact with Professor Zhai, and also formulate preliminary research question. It is also important. Since started from formulate preliminary research question, we have considered as we start to enter our really research process. So pilot study or feasibility analysis also big urgent for our research. Conduct a small scale pilot study or feasibility analysis to test the viability of the research question and methodologies, for example. And this can help to refine the approach. Yeah. So the process of the research itself is iterative process. So seek mentorship, also explore interdisciplinary approach like Professor Zhai said, and also Pak Jonet said, and also understand local context, because the local context is our benefits. Yeah, we can research in different area, but as the researcher, architecture or urban and regional planning, we should connect it with our where we research in this kind of topics. Yeah, this also bring opportunities more relevant and impactful. And access data sources, develop a research proposal and submit for feedback. It's like a relevant strategies that should be done by all of us if we want to make a research. But don't worry, because we have also some example from the University of Vermont, because this stage we have more than 18 strategies, but in this diagram only stated in 5 stages. Yeah, so quite similar with previous description. And I also support you or encourage all of us, yeah, to bring opportunity or to have some submission of an abstract before conducting the research itself. Yeah, that's not because I've experienced also so many seminars, so many conferences also come in our daily activity. And that time we want to submit our research, but we have no resources or ready to discuss paper, for example. So please try this, because some benefits also exist there. For example, clarify of focus, early feedback and validation, identifying potential collaborators, and setting research goal. It's quite similar with our previous explanation. And motivation and commitment and time efficiency, because we can also check the opportunity or the feasibility to have such kind of research. For example, we want to do the research and we submit as an abstract, and some reviewers will also make a comments to your abstract. That's also important for us. Yeah, because that's impossible, that's possible, and you have to add some consideration, for example. Yeah, this is a very, very beneficial for us. And flexibility in research design, promoting interdisciplinary research, and creating foundation for grant application. We have known that some reviewers in reputable conference, for example, will add some some complete comments, to bring your abstract become better abstract, and can be checked or evaluated by this kind of reviewers. Yeah, we also have some topics in detail. We will explore more in next presentation. But some consideration, for example, we have opportunities to bring or to research in sustainable urban mobility and transportation planning in medium-sized of city, for example, or affordable housing strategies in urban redevelopment, etc. But some consideration taken into account is relevance to research goal, feasibility, etc., and public engagement and dissemination and long-term impact. It's quite similar with our previous strategy. So we have some also characteristic, should we have curiosity, critical thinking, analytical skills, communication skills, also important, and adaptability, interdisciplinary collaboration, attention to detail, ethical consideration, as we discussed, project management, innovation and creativity, time management, project management, time management, networking abilities, resiliences, because we will enter the process of this research itself, and also global perspective. As Professor said that it's important we make a competitive research if we want to publish in a reputable journal, for example. And commitment to impact, tax savviness, as Pak Jonet said, and also continuous learning, humility and openness, and mindfulness. It's also important. The last point is very important, because practice mindfulness in research by staying present and aware of the research process is very make us to stronger, to face our some difficulties in the advanced time. I have inspired by discussion who Yani have with some professor, some scientists, and there is decarbonizing topics, and here some relevant decarbonizing topics in relevant updated journals. Yeah, for example, we want to focus on social equity and inclusion in low carbon urban planning, for example, carbon markets and trading in urban context, for example, because we know that in urban area, we have no oxygen or carbon resources, yeah, to be exchanged, and low carbon industrial zone, etc. So many, and we can focus on pick one or two as you wish, as you like, and in more resource we can also explore in our some resources, academic databases, library catalogs, research repositories, books on crafting research, online courses, etc. And yeah, after I returned back from my PhD, and I just list up our important keywords. Yeah, so I collected my interesting testy research keywords, but only 1/3. Yeah, I think I I did with this keyword. Yeah, so many keywords still there, and yeah, so that's why this kind conference, this kind of scientific meeting is very important to us. Yeah, to bring back to the right ways. Yeah. Yeah, this is a reading of our reading, and I would like also to present the topics of Master of Urban Planning in UGM, because this also very they have very big variation, but in smart city, for example, yeah, because many topics, yeah, many topics is traditional topics in urban and regional planning, but if we focus on smart city topics, yeah, they have increasing number, yeah, in almost 10 years these days, yeah. But this cluster also not so precise, but just share to you what kind of topics we have in Master of Urban Planning. And that's why we also encourage or support the academia or lecturer, not only when the students enter the thesis period, yeah, to care about the research, but started from the beginning, started from the for example first semester, they have to explore yeah, the relevant theories or relevant references to be done in literature review. So maybe some systematic literature review needs more than 4 months, 5 months, but yeah, we also recommend the colleagues to do, for example, for students to do narrative review or critically appraised topics, so that they can help the students to understand the topics from the broader topics out there. Okay, thank you very much. That's my presentation. Have a nice afternoon. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sani. Okay, please give appreciation to our 3 speakers of today. Professor Zhai, Dr. Jonet, and Dr. Sani, please welcome to the stage, because we will start our Q&A session. I will divide the Q&A session in 2 sessions. And first session, we will have 3 questions from offline and online question. in this room? Please raise your hand if you have any question. Oh, please. Please, Bu Yani.
Thank you so much, Dr. Atrida. Thank you, Dr. Sani, Dr. Janet, and Prof. Zhai. I would like to ask sort of like an advice or motivation, because sometimes when we are doing research, like Dr. Janet said, there are red cars, right? For example, we already chose white car, for example, and then yellow car passed by. So how we are staying in focus and motivated to publish, to do our research and then until publishing in a good journal. Because if, let's say, we are doing a red card, for example, and then we see the yellow card, it will be like reinventing the new wheel. So how to keep motivated and keep focused doing this? Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Bu Yani. Is there any question, the second questions from our audience here? Wow, it's like a typical students in our class, right? Okay, but we have question in online for Dr. Sani from Ratri Ade Prima Puspita. Is how to improve, start, and create as well research based on professional experience, but at the same time, the researcher to be has gap year from academic life. Okay, that's for Pak Sani. Oh, we have one more question for Pak Sani from Gusti Aditya. Okay, we have 3 questions here in total. So the next session, please give us any question from the audience here. Okay, Pak Sani, this is from from online participant. In some condition, we already set straight line in our research proposal. However, because some reasons, we will direct into unequal advisor, and by the time the result of the research will change our original theme. How should we address this? Thank you very much. Okay, we have the question for directly for Pak Sani, but please, Professor Zhai to answer Bu Yani question first.
I think that's a great question, and it happens everywhere. What I told my students is, well, you should still have a pretty broad, open mind. You know, just say, I'm doing this. I don't hear anything else. I always suggest my students all ears to all the new things, open mind. You attend, just like Professor Taylor, to attend the conference, workshop as much as you could. A lot of cases we provided some free food as a taste. You don't have to have your dinner. You come just for dinner, you don't watch the slides, but they will watch the slides. This actually can add, sometimes you never know, can add some nutrition to our own study. So that's my first question. Don't just cut down. Oh, there's distraction. No, you should get that. But because of your time is the limit, because all what I do is ask my student to time trace back. We don't do like, I don't know how here students, master PhD student, do you have to graduate within a certain years, or you have a freedom? Is that you have to go after 2 years? Okay, so now ask my student, you do the backward calculation. So say, let's say this May or June, you will graduate. When you have to defend, when you have to submit the paperwork, right? In order to, after you did all the calculation, when you need to finish your first draft, okay, what are you going to do to finish the experiment? You're going to finish the a simulation. You're going to finish the literature review. When you go back, it's already here. Then you got to press. Oh, I need already finish chapter 2. I haven't done anything. That is the student will got focused. They will say, oh, yeah, I need to finish all the chapters. So again, I want the students are adults. They're mature enough. I trust my students. But a lot of cases, they don't do this proactive thinking. They never thought about it. They say, oh, yeah, we still have time. Let's play now. We can do that next week. But when they realize, oh, the same thing as if they publish a paper for this conference, they have to know there's a deadline. You need to submit this abstract. There's a deadline, you submit the full paper. But in order to submit it, there's weeks you need to break down. When they understand this, all the process, then they know the stress, they know the focus. Because if they want it distracted, it's fine, but now you don't have time. You can try this, you can try that. You lose focus, and you cannot finish by that month, right? Another thing I ask my student do is, for a student that they write a report or write their thesis here, right? You put the chapter first, even you haven't done anything. But let's put chapter, and for each chapter, you put a progress bar. You say this chapter, at the beginning, every chapter 0, right? 0%, you haven't done anything. Whenever you did something, you put it in. I don't care about the format. You just throw in materials. So down 80% chapter 1, 20% chapter 2, 0% chapter 3. So they will feel the progress, confidence. This is actually the promotion. The students, this reward. Oh, I already finished all this 80% of this. Let's finish something. That's also, they can check the progress. But certainly this is a dynamic. It's not like your contract. Because the research, we never know the results. The design, you come up something else, like you got from outside. Oh, there's another thing interesting. I want to add this as a chapter 6. You can do that. Or let's say chapter 4 is not needed anymore. Let's remove that. So that is between the advisor and the students. But I want the students and the faculty, the advisors, be transparent. We're all transparent. You know why you do this. There's motivation. So that is a focus. So instead of we force them to focus, they will bring them back the focus. That's my comment. Yeah.
Thank you. And the second question, please, Pak Sani.
Yeah, thank you very much for the question. I forget the names of the person who writes.
Miss Ratri. Miss
Ratri.
Ratri. Yeah.
Miss Ratri. Okay, Ms. Ratri, thank you very much for your question, and I hope that this answer will fit with your expectation. Yeah, because as the professional career person, yeah, it's a very hard, yeah, to switch to the researcher or to get some idea to do research. But I think so many opportunities open there, because some journals or some research also can be started from the what do you work, yeah, because you work in a professional office for architecture, for example. It's a kind of opportunity to write or to design or to make a research. What kind of process of the design itself, for example, or what kind of discussion with the users, for example. So many opportunities can be can be done as a research. Yeah, because we have known that theories also, so many theories in architecture, in planning. Yeah, so we can contribute to make some theories in planning, or theories in architecture, theories for architecture, or theories through architecture, through your practical activities. This I hope this answer your question. But there is no reason for you as the architects or person who work in the architecture office not to do research. Yeah, because your passion, firstly, your passion is to do research. It's nobody will close the door to you. Yeah, it's really based on your motivation. And the second,
Mr.
third?
Gusti Aditya.
Gusti Aditya. Thank
Yes.
you very much, Mas Gusti Aditya. Yeah, I think because the question is about when we submit to the journals, and some reviews, yeah, some reviews say that it's important to do some additional research, additional topics, etc. So you assume that your manuscript will change during the process of reviewers. Yeah, this is based on you, because if you have a time, if you have because we can categorize into two kind of assumption. The first assumption is yeah, practical assumption. Yeah, just do what reviewers want to add or want to change. Yeah, want to add as yeah. But once again, this based on your opportunity, because limited time. This also as the one and only requirement, yeah, as the students, postgraduate students, and with that publication, this requirement to do or to pass your schools or PhD or master. This is a very practical way. But another assumption, another way is ideal way. So please, if you have no objections, yeah, accept it. But if you have some kind of objection, so just close the contact, or just withdraw the paper and change the submission to the other journals. I think those kind of strategic or practical or ideal opportunities you can choose. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Sani, for your answer. Okay, so now we are open to the second session of Q&A. Please don't hesitate to raise your hand. Oh, we already have two questions in here. Okay, first.
Okay. My name is Imran Ahmadi, and I am from UGM. Okay. I want to ask a question. Perhaps this is still quite related to Miss question, but I want to ask something specifically. Basically, this is a basic question, and I want to ask to you, Mr. John. My question is how you manage your reading habits. I know, because this is a crucial thing in my life, because I know that a lot of experts in this world, if we look at the history, every expert have a good reading habit, in my opinion. And perhaps you have tips to us how you manage your reading habits, to find million ideas, to write a lot of papers. Yeah, something like this. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, thank you very much. For the next question, please.
Good afternoon. My name is Salman, and I came from this undergraduate study program of Urban and Regional Planning of Gadjah Mada University. And my question is, currently I work on the undergraduate thesis, and as far in my observation, many students can take months and even more than 1 year to work from their research. And my question is from you all that you have a year of experiences, and I wonder what kind of what thing that you learn from your experiences to make the process of research to be more efficient, like faster, better, and produce more research productively. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And we have one more question from Zoom meeting. This is from Professor Zhai from Novi Nima. Getting into high impact journals is quite challenging. Do you have any advice for young researchers on how to write a good manuscript that can increase editor interest amidst high rejection rates? Good question, Ms. Novi. Okay, so now please, Professor Zhai, to answer this first question.
Okay, thank you for the question. I think the two questions are some sort of related because everybody's time is a limit, especially as a professor. We're not just doing writing paper, like all this have the leadership position. They're doing a lot of meetings, right? So time management, I think both of them mentioned that time management is critical. For as a student, actually, your life is much simpler than the senior professors. Trust me, okay? Our life is a lot of time, it's as junior faculty, especially miserable. I say junior faculty miserable. They work so hard, and you cannot even imagine. As a student, you're very happy to have. You should be happy with your life. Okay, that's my first comment. So really, you talk about the reading. I'm assuming you talk about professional reading, right? Not talk about personal reading. Professional reading. I even since my PhD or doing a postgrad study, I always read it, but that time it's just for my research. But now it's become my habit or job because I'm serving as an editor, associate editor, guest editor for more than 10 journals. So I need to handle 500 papers per year myself. What does that mean? 400 papers, at least even say every day, right? Roughly, I needed to handle about 1.5 paper, right? I have to read it. But I won't do every day, right? But I'll accumulate on Friday, at weekend, I read 20 papers. I don't have time for it. So this is actually back to how do you write a paper to impress people that relate to that question. How do I impress the journal? Remember when I said the building environment editor, Professor Chan, he rejected 99 papers in first 5 seconds. How could it's unfair? I spent whole months to write the paper. This guy took 5 seconds to reject my paper. You're unhappy. But because when they look at your title, just like you read every single paper, you think of the paper, read the title, you don't even know what this guy wanted to say. What do you mean this title? You just drop it, right? That's the same thing. The other reader gonna read it. So when I read it, I first learn what exactly this paper stands for. You have a very odd or very broad, like, just like life is happy as a title. What do you mean the life is happy, right? It doesn't say anything, you know what I'm saying? So I need to be specific and attractive. That's number one. And then when I find this one, oh, well, this sounds interesting topic, then I read abstract. Abstract is only 200 words or 250 words. I can spend 3 minutes to read it. And I see, oh, what exactly this guy did. And I especially look at what findings from the abstract. If the finding is very broad, again, the finding is life is happy. I don't like it. I want to know why your life is happy. You didn't tell me that, right? You didn't tell me that. Wrong. Okay. Or if it's very narrow to something very specific to your house, then I don't care. Because I don't care about your house. I care about a house in Indonesia. I care about a house in globally. That's exact. Not too narrow, not too broad. So I will need to find something I never know before I read the paper. I don't want something I already know before I read the whole paper. Then I don't like it. Right? So that's to answer your question. My reading for this 20 papers I read myself, I remove 80% paper just by reading the title, abstract. That's it. It takes me about 30 minutes. That's it. Like I said, my time's limit, I never, again, that's back to the writing of paper, high impact paper. You have to pay attention to title, abstract. Then if I find something interesting by reading this, I will spend another 2 minutes to read all the figures, the pictures in the, I don't have time to read the text too much. I read all just the beautiful pictures, right? So the picture should tell me a story without reading all the text. You got it? Because every single paper allowed to have 10 to 15 figures or tables combined. So I just quickly read all the figures. Oh yeah, sounds interesting. There's instrument, there's some graphic, show you something, some conclusion. Then this one, I like it, I put aside. The other one, I removed. Another 2 minutes, 20 papers, 40 minutes. That's it. You see how I read it. That's back to your question. How did you increase efficiency? There's no, one of my students used to report every single paper 1 week. This week, I read this paper. I say, your study have more than 100 papers. You need 100 weeks to read it. There's no way you're going to finish it, right? So that's how you read it. So you may find 200 papers in your area, typically more than that, okay? For any area, regardless of new or old, you will easily find more than 100, 200 papers. That's how you read it. By filtering, like I said before, you remove 80% of the papers. Those are useless. Or maybe useful, but because they didn't write correctly, they're missed. Sorry about that, okay? And then I read those most important papers. Then I look at the conclusions. I say, what your findings? They say, what the future work? That's what I care about. What the main findings is a new method, new findings, something I don't know before, right? Then I read this one. And eventually, this 200 papers, I only find maybe just 20 papers are most important. So really just read this 20 papers. And those are papers important. But then you say, oh, you only have 20 papers. No. Remember, Prof talk about citations. So now you need to look at this 20 papers. Which paper beside it by this 20 papers? Those are probably the most important fundamental papers you need to find out. And you need to read those papers because this paper be signed by majority of these papers. You guys got it? Yeah. You need to find those fundamental papers. So now you only, although you got 200 papers, you really just read 20 papers plus a few fundamental papers. You're done. That's answer your question and your question about efficiency. Okay, but you got a general ideas. But also back to this one's question: how do you make impactful papers? You write a paper. You first ask my student, never write any sentence before you put a figure in first. That's your backbone of your paper. A lot of students misunderstand the backbone versus the time they spend. They want to put the figure, they spend 3 months on it. They say, I need to put that figure in because I spent a lot of time on it. It turns out this was not important at all. Or it doesn't make the story smooth. I say, no, I don't care about your time. I care about the story. Tell the story, make sure it's smooth, right? You can tell your parents or grandparents just showing the pictures. Can you understand what I'm talking? If they don't, something's wrong. The editor, the chief editor probably won't understand your area at all. They just reject it. If they say, yeah, I sort of understand, good. If they say, oh yeah, I understand even 1 minute, no, not good, which means your study is too simple. Right? I already know the result answers. Your grandparents can understand within 1 minute. Why you bother spend 3 years to do it? You know what I'm saying? So there's a level of, well, yeah, I sort of understand, but I don't exactly understand. Then they will invite external reviewer, the expert in the area, to review it. That's the tip I will give my students. So you put all these 15 figures from your whole study, and then you come up with the abstract. You come up with the title. And then you fill in all the text. This will be much faster. You want to write a chapter, the introduction, literature review, methodology. It's a lot of pain, trust me. When you have the whole story in your mind, you find it so easy to put in, right? Because you know the story. And you should be confident to the question on the, you should be confident. You are the one doing research. You know much better than your advisor. Eventually, not the beginning, eventually, you will know much better than most of the expert in the field, especially for PhD students. For all my PhD students, I ask them to be confident. You should have the level be top 20 eventually, top 20 of globally, not just my university. Because the PhD topic is just a small piece. And you spend 4 or 5 years doing this. You must be the expert in this area. Yeah. In the program, experiment, you should know much more than your supervisor. Because they don't do the program, you did the program. They didn't adjust the novel on the experiment, you did it. So you should know every single details. Okay? And a lot of students eventually they said, I know better than my supervisor. Yeah, you should. Because that's you spend 5 years on it, right? And trust me, for any areas, not many people will know more than you in this small, tiny area. If after 5 years still don't have confidence on that, which means you do have some problems with your research because you don't have, oh no, I'm not sure, right? Something's wrong, okay? So that's my question to all 3 of them. Yeah, hopefully this helps. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Zhai. You already addressed the whole question. Okay, the next, please answer the second question, Pak Nedyomukti. I think Pak Nedyomukti has plus remark, please.
Yes. I think Prof they already mentioned everything that. Maybe I'm gonna add one more thing that
Yeah.
these things I always ask to my student that is doing research is more like doing a design. You need to be creative. So I always ask them to try think differently. I mean that if you want people to like your paper, then make it, if you design it, make it beautiful, right? You need to be able to attract their attention. You need to able make them in whatever position like your paper, either from the title, the abstract, and then the result. Make they attract to those part. Make it, you need to be creative. And say then the question arises that then how we can be creative in a way, in a I mean in papers, like in paragraph, in sentences, and that's the art. So you need to read more. If you feel that some thing attract you, try to copy it. And that usually some researchers have a very how do you put it, a way to express their result, what kind of graph that usually they use. If I have this kind of result, then maybe a box graph is much more suitable. This graph can explain this result more attractive, something like that. So yeah, this is it is a bit different than mentioning the content of the paper itself. But I feel that you guys need to make them like your paper. So other thing is like say like Professor John, they also mentioned that people usually don't attract something that they already know. Right? We call it usually it's a trivial research. Let's say I always tell the story of trees. Trees, everyone knows what is trees, and everyone knows that tree give you benefits. But we also know that a lot of research about trees. You can find a lot of trees being researched, greenery. More, you can collect more than 1,000 good research paper about trees. So you start to look at them. What make the research is very popular? What kind of what they see about the trees? It's not merely like tree give you benefit. Yes, everyone knows one tree can give you shade, can reduce the temperature. Let's say, but what kind of trees? And then you can start exercise your creativity. How if we have, let's say, 10 trees? Of course, you increase the number of trees, you increase the number of benefits. Why is so should be not like that? Then how about these 10 trees is clumping together? What happened? What happened if the 10 trees you spread it out in a very huge area? The same area, does it give you the same benefits? So you need to start experimenting, like being creative. And then you will see, I always said to them that, to my student that, then you will see something that you never thought before. Generate, inspire you more. Okay, then I need to do what next? Okay, this thing already been done by these researchers. These things already being published. Then you start mapping. This is yours. This is theirs. What is if not being done yet? Does it make sense if I put this? And then it's started rolling. Then you can start choosing. And in one moment, I do believe that when you exercise these things, you will find that those red cars, okay, maybe this is important things that I need to pursue more. I think this part, nobody have touched it before, or maybe I never heard someone tell the story about this thing before. Maybe it's important. Like in my experience in Singapore, like this is it's quite fascinating that one of my professors, they say that he tried to quantitatively count the trees. It's not like one number, 1, 2, 3, but he make some numbers representing how dense a tree are. He just, okay, if you want have a greenery in one area of one area, let's say, trees, then I can put a number one, number one, one number, a number of one. And then if I have 3 on top of it, it should be a number 2. Or I can put a value. And then if I make in this area half of it, one is green, one is not, is half, 0.5. But this part of green, I put it on top of it, and it's still 1. So he play with those numbers, and he start to evaluate the effect. And he can come out with some interesting value. Like, oh, so actually the effect is not really significant. I mean, you number the number of greenery doesn't show, let's say, double the benefits along those lines. So I think at first it looks silly, but then people start following him and how he actually do the greenery things. So I think it's quite, you guys need to be creative. So don't follow how to put it. You just need to think out of the box, like, okay, everyone already see greenery as good things, then what can I do with it? Something like that.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nedyomukti, and please give applause to our 3 speakers. So from this discussion session this afternoon, we could learn what is currently urgent or needed to explore for research in building an environment. And it is aligned with our topic of the conference, that is future living. It needs solution and new invention, but how to find the gap and what to solve or need new invention. So you need to pay attention towards the things that help. And there is challenges in doing research, and so you should don't be afraid to start by build an abstract first, and then you could develop it into a paper. So I hope from this session you will get enlightenment and be courageous to finish your writing a paper. Thank you very much. And now I will give it back to our Master of Ceremony. But please don't leave because we will have a photo session after this. Thank you very much.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, give another applause to our inspiring speakers and moderator, please. Okay, this is really intriguing to hear like various perspectives and experiences, as well as special notes from our speakers to the participants. I believe that after listening to the various approaches from our speakers, many of the participants are eager to dive deeper about researches. And ladies and gentlemen, as time has already been close to 3:30 p.m., I'm sorry, it is nearly the time for us to formally close the 7th International Conference on Indonesia Architecture and Planning pre-event. And once again, this pre-event is held as part of the series of events leading up to the main conference, has served as a vibrant forum for discussions, debates, and the exchange of groundbreaking ideas, which is the 7th International Conference on Indonesia Architecture and Planning. This year, once again, ICIAP is conducted under the theme of Future Living, Reimagining Holistic Sustainable Built Environment. Also, ladies and gentlemen, due to your enthusiasm, we are excited to announce that the 7th International Conference on Indonesia Architecture and Planning's abstract submission deadline is extended until March 15th. And we have 4 topics that you can choose. The first one is reimagining holistic sustainable urban and regional development. The second one is reimagining holistic sustainable architectural design. The third one is innovations for future living. And the fourth one is challenges for future living. Well, our committee will share the registration link of our conference, so don't miss out the chance because we still have like 15 days left until the deadline. And before we close the event, I would like to remind the online participants to fill the attendance form. You may find the link through the slides and our Zoom chat session. This attendance form is important because it will be your requirement to get the certificates. Right now, we're moving on to the next session. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to invite all of the participants to join us in the documentation session. To the offline participants, you may join us to the front with the speakers as we will get the picture together. And to the online participants, you may turn your camera on and use the virtual background that the community will share through the Zoom chat. Please join us in the stage. Bismillah, Pak. Semangat. Ayo. Wow. Thank you once again for joining us. It is our pleasure to meet the invited speakers and all the participants who have shown continuous support through this great event. As a master of the ceremony, I would like to apologize if there is any mistakes in our speech, our ways of delivery. May this event bring more opportunity and new international relations to all of the delegates. Thank you and see you.
We are learning a lot.